It was late afternoon and the city was alive with motion. The streets buzzed, phones rang, cars rushed, and people hurried from one obligation to the next. It looked like progress. But in one quiet cafe, Alex sat watching it all through the window and wondered if anyone was actually moving forward. He had been feeling restless for weeks. His days were full, yet something inside him felt stagnant. Every moment seemed consumed by small tasks, endless notifications, and routine responsibilities. He was working harder than ever, but his financial goals remained out of reach. It felt like running on a treadmill, effort without advancement. Maya joined him, setting her laptop on the table. "You look exhausted," she said. Alex nodded. "I am. I've been busy non-stop, but nothing seems to change. I check emails, manage reports, handle projects, but at the end of the day I feel empty." Maya smiled knowingly. "You're confusing movement with momentum," she said. "I used to do that too. It feels like progress because you're active, but it's just motion without direction." Alex leaned back, thinking, so being busy doesn't mean being productive. "Not even close," she replied. "Most people mistake activity for progress. They think filling every moment with action will make them successful, but it's the quality of your actions, not the quantity, that determines growth." That evening, Alex couldn't shake her words. He opened his journal and listed everything he had done that week. Meetings, errands, emails, small tasks, dozens of items, yet none that truly moved him closer to his financial goals. He realized he had been managing maintenance, not creating momentum. The next morning he met with Mr. Harris for coffee. The older man noticed his thoughtful expression and asked, "What's on your mind, Alex?" "I'm realizing I've been busy but not productive," Alex said. "I thought constant activity meant I was doing well, but I'm just spinning in circles." Mr. Harris smiled. "That's a common illusion," he said. "The world celebrates busyness because it looks like success. But the truly wealthy understand that silence, focus, and clarity are far more valuable. Motion keeps you distracted. Momentum keeps you directed." He continued, "There are three kinds of people: those who drift, those who react, and those who direct. The first group does nothing. The second is always busy, chasing tasks and distractions. The third designs their days with purpose. That's where real wealth begins." Alex nodded slowly, absorbing the lesson. So what separates the busy from the productive? Mr. Harris leaned forward. "Intention. Busy people ask, 'What do I need to do today?' Productive people ask, 'What will move me forward today?' One question fills your time, the other fills your future." Later that week, Alex decided to run an experiment. He cleared his schedule of low-value tasks. No unnecessary meetings, no endless scrolling, no distractions disguised as duties. Instead, he chose 3 actions that directly aligned with his goals: investing, research, content creation, and skill development. At first it felt strange. The quiet made him anxious. He was so used to constant motion that stillness felt wrong. But as the days passed, he noticed a difference. He had fewer tasks but made more progress. His mind felt sharper. He had time to think, to plan, to execute. Meanwhile, Maya was observing the same principle in her own life. Her days used to be filled with busyness, managing projects, replying instantly to messages, trying to do everything. But after a while, she noticed her income wasn't growing even though her effort was. She started delegating small tasks and focusing her time on high-impact work. Within months, her results multiplied. One evening, she shared her experience with Lena, who had recently started her own design studio. Lena confessed that she felt overwhelmed. "I'm working all day, but I can't seem to grow my business." Maya smiled. "That's because you're managing work, not directing growth. Think of your energy like currency. If you spend it everywhere, it loses power. Focus it and it compounds." Lena nodded thoughtfully. "So how do I know what's worth my energy?" "Ask yourself one question," Maya replied. "Will this action matter in a year? If the answer is no, it's maintenance. If it's yes, it's momentum." Weeks later, the 3 of them met again with Mr. Harris, who listened patiently as they shared their discoveries. He smiled as he sipped his tea. "You're learning one of the hardest lessons," he said. "The illusion of busy is seductive because it gives the comfort of effort without the risk of failure. When you slow down and choose deliberately, you confront your own priorities. Most people avoid that." He looked at Alex. True wealth builders measure success in results, not hours. Time is the real currency, and every minute spent reacting is a minute stolen from creation. Lena leaned in. So how do you balance it? How do you stay productive without falling back into busyness? Mr. Harris replied, by designing your days like an investor. Every action should have a return, not just financial but mental, emotional, or strategic. Invest your focus, don't spend it. The cafe grew quiet as his words lingered. Outside, the city continued to rush, people moving fast, phones ringing, engines roaring. Inside, the four of them sat in calm reflection, realizing that stillness was not the absence of progress but the foundation of it. Over the following months, Alex completely transformed his approach. He structured his days with intention, dedicating his mornings to deep, meaningful work and his afternoons to learning. He stopped multitasking and started time blocking. He replaced constant notifications with clear goals. His income grew, his creativity sharpened, and his peace returned. Maya built systems to automate her projects, freeing herself to focus on expansion and partnerships. Lena began batching her design work, setting boundaries with clients, and using her evenings to learn about scaling her business. The change was quiet but powerful. One evening, Alex invited them to his apartment. As they sat on the balcony overlooking the glowing skyline, he said, it's funny. We all used to think success meant doing more. But now I see that real success means doing less but better. Maya nodded. Efficiency isn't about speed, it's about clarity. The clearer your vision, the fewer moves you need. Mr. Harris, always composed, smiled as he watched the city lights flicker. Most people are addicted to movement, he said. They rush to feel alive, but life rewards direction, not distraction. The wealthy aren't the busiest people in the room, they're the calmest. They've learned to let go of noise so they can focus on signal. He paused, then added, you must learn to distinguish between what is urgent and what is important. Urgency screams, importance whispers. Listen to the whisper, that's where your future hides. Alex looked out at the skyline again and realized how many years he had confused effort with impact. He thought of the meetings, the emails, the endless scrolling, all the moments that felt productive but changed nothing. He finally understood that wealth isn't created in chaos, it's created in clarity. He took a deep breath and said softly, the illusion of busy is like a fog. It keeps you from seeing where you're really going. Mr. Harris nodded approvingly. And only when you stop chasing motion can you start creating movement. As the night deepened, the sound of the city faded into the distance. Inside that stillness, Alex felt something he hadn't felt in years: focus. Pure, undistracted focus. It wasn't loud or dramatic. It was calm, powerful, deliberate. He realized that progress doesn't need to be visible to be real. Sometimes, it's built in the silence between distractions. Months later, as his business grew and his wealth compounded, people often asked him how he managed to do so much with so little stress. He would smile and say, I stopped being busy. I started being intentional. And that became his quiet mantra: less motion, more momentum. Because in the end, wealth doesn't belong to those who do the most. It belongs to those who direct their energy with precision, discipline, and patience. This is Strategic Wealth Mindsets.